Hello and welcome, my name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with some Age of Empires 3 multiplayer online gameplay strategy analysis deck building tutorial YouTube video guide. So I'm going to switch my deck around. I just randomly made this Swedish deck when I first started playing them. I only have one deck. I have What Have I Done because I'm playing as a Protestant nation, which I am generally loath to do, but I had some requests for Sweden, and I just personally wanted to play Sweden a little bit. They seem kind of cool. I've been enjoying them so far, definitely getting better with them, but I'm going to edit my deck just a little bit. First off, oh wait, hold on, let me just, no, let's just see what I had to begin with, make sure nothing's any different. Oh! Okay, wait, these are the changes I made. So, what I had was, Irish Brigadiers, and then I think this is what I have right now. So this is what I have. What I'm going to change is I'm going to take out Irish Brigadiers. The reason for that is, in my opinion, Irish Brigadiers should be gotten as soon as you get to age 2, and then not at all. They're just not good. It's a good amount of musketeers for basically a little more than 50 gold each, so it's sort of a good deal, and they can, but they're not particularly good musketeers at range. Up close they are, and if you use them to like get treasures, then they get promotions and they get way better when they're promoted. But just the way Sweden, or the way I'm opening Sweden with like heavy wood in H2 and using torps to get gold, basically nothing on gold, it's just not going to happen. So I'm taking Irish Brigadiers out. What I'm putting instead is pikemen. Some tempting options are actually these 15 elk. Just because, like, well, it depends on how much. Let me see how much food an elk has. Okay, it's 150 food per elk, so 150 times 15 would be 1,500, so that's like 2,000 something food. That's a fair amount, but of course you have to gather it. I'm literally tempted by these elk. I'm not too sure. The other one I'm tempted by is the silver. The thing is, I just see pikemen realistically in 1v1s being more likely to be useful. But if I never send it, I might take them out. The other option is Treaty of Roskilde, which gives you the like Gustavian Guard and something else as well. I can't quite remember. So that's an option, but we're gonna try out the pikes, because there's one game I played against the Sioux that they would. Well, he had tons of archers too. We'll just see if we use him. We'll see if we use him. Move on. The other one I'm taking out is Case Shot, which makes me sad because it should be a really cool. It should be that in this game, falconets all have like a mode that they can switch to that's Case Shot, that's like anti-infantry, just for historical reasons, for balance reasons. I don't know if that's such a good idea, but it's cool. I literally just put this in there because it sounded cool, but I looked up more about it and it's not that. It's useful in like, it's like a pretty minimal bonus you're getting from this, so getting rid of this. And instead, so I'm tempted to do the Giant Grenadiers because they are pretty strong. It would be cool. The question is, does this... Oh no, they just train faster. No, that's not worth it. I thought it meant it makes the leather guns themselves faster. There's blackberries, which I think is good for if the game goes later. So for a second I thought these were in Age 2. These are really good against villagers. They're actually a pretty good raiding unit, and for only 500? But I think in Age 3 they would just go down pretty quick. Can they go stealth? Let me see. Um, I don't think they can go stealth. I think I'm going to do the giant grenadiers just because they're cool and give some much needed siege and like anti-blob power. There could be, and then it lets you recruit them too, so like, yeah. I think this is the way to go. It's a lot of mercenaries to have, but each of them like turn into something you can recruit, so it's not like a totally if you lose them, it's not a totally sunk cost, although it's still pretty bad. This I'm going to keep, although I'm wondering, because I don't really use Hakapellets that much. Hakapellets, however you pronounce that. But literally just because I send Black Riders a lot, I send Black Riders very commonly. I'm a big fan of this unit. And this makes them even better. So, yeah, I think I like this. I should probably have some other decks, but I think these are going to be the adjustments. Oh yeah, and I think better than this is 2 heavy cannons. Although, sometimes you want those culverins. I think this is better though. But you know what? I'm gonna do this. Because the way I play, I like to get a big blob of falconets. That could be wrong, that could be stupid and bad, but it's how I do it right now. Okay. I've done this like tree spawning thing, and it makes your town look really cool. I did it as Finland I was playing against my friend who's a noob, and I revolted into Finland as I think Russia, so I wasn't playing as Swedes at that point. But I revolted into Finland, and it spawns. The Finnish revolt has this weird card that spawns a tree all on each of your like buildings or something, and you can send it repeatedly, and it makes your town look super cool. But I don't think it's that good. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll just leave this like this. Just a little video to update sort of my thoughts on how I'm playing Sweden. It's been pretty standard against each civ. I'm getting stronger just at the sort of opening. And they're like little adjustments based on who you're playing against. It's really depending on whether or not you're getting rushed and whether or not to make a double barracks in Age 2. That seems to be the big sort of dichotomy in how I'm playing them. Do I need double racks? I think you always make at least one barracks. And that going up to age 3 just straight is not particularly good as Swedes. It just doesn't play to your strengths. So I'm figuring out, things are getting better. I'll just highlight some big questions I have on them so far. One is leather guns. Are they even good? They're so expensive. When do you make them? They've saved me a few times, but they've also utterly failed me a few times, and I'm not quite sure how to micro them either. And I'm having trouble finding games that people are using leather guns effectively. So the thing is, I've had them used effectively against me, but they seem sort of like an Abyss gun, except twice as expensive. So I'm a little skeptical about leather guns, but they have saved me, and I'm keeping them in there because I also think they're kind of cool. So leather guns are one question I have. Another question is, what's the best way to deal with a big skirmisher mass, aside from just falconets? Which, if the other player is good, I feel like skirmishers literally beat falconets if against a player who knows what he's doing. With falconets versus skirmishers, you need to get like a good position on them, which I don't know, you just can't rely on that. Yeah, Skirm Goon seems to be the way to deal with Swedes. I think what I'm supposed to be doing is like upgrading these Caroleans to the point where they're kind of like skirmishers, but that seems not applicable in like early and mid age 3. So what exactly does this do? Range and line of sight increased. Not that much for the Hecapulate. That's not enough to make it worth it for the Hecapulate, but the Carolean 3 is a lot. Then this, more damage by a fair amount. And then, are there any I'm missing in here? I don't think so. I think these are the two technologies you need for them. It just feels really weird fighting against Skirmgoon, because you're like, I make hussars for the skirms, but the Caroleans aren't mobile enough to like ward away dragoons. And like so like, let's say there's a Skirmgoon army, you have hussars and Caroleans, both of which are countered by their units. Your units counter sort of the skirmish. Your hussars counter the skirmishers. Their units counter both of your units. And you see an opportunity with the hussars, you move in. They put their dragoons on your hussars. You now have to maneuver your Caroleans into position to attack their dragoons. And unless you've gotten like the most amazing surround on their skirmishers with your hussars that's ever happened, the skirmisher, like half of their skirmishers are still going to be firing at your Caroleans, and it's going to be ugly. If they have like any depth to the formation, like all of the back skirmishers will still be firing, or a lot of them will be firing at the hussars, but a fair number of them will be shooting at your Caroleans as well, and it's just not a good. The only way to have it turn on your side is if you have cannon superiority, and it's hard to have cannon superiority when against Skirmgoon, because they push your anti-cav off of your cannons, and they can just move in with the goons and snipe out cannons. I don't know. That's what I'm having trouble with. I've lost a few games to that now, but hopefully it'll get better. And then I think one thing I'm doing wrong here, where it feels good is when I send Black Riders. early, then you can have goon superiority and you can make Black Riders. It's expensive. But if you have Dragoon superiority, but I think what I'm not taking into account is the Hecapolates, and I'm avoiding them because I've beaten them in when I've fought against Sweden, and they've been super underwhelming seeming. And it feels like you need to like upgrade them to have them be good, but I think that's what I'm missing. I need to stop being. I need to get rid of my aversion to Hecapolates. So, yeah, I think that's how we'll move forward. Maybe I should just add some Hecapolates to force myself to do this. No. No. I want all of these. These are all good. It's a little questionable having this many mercenaries. But I think it's good. Need the Falconettes. This is good. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll think about getting rid of this. We need these two things. The Carolean upgrades. Need golden wood. Yeah. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Wish me luck. Yesterday went really well. Today, sort of 2 losses, 1 win, but I think we're getting the hang of Sweden. Catch you guys in the next one.